Welcome to the One Up Podcast, a place where we talk sports, movies, video games, and everything else under the sun. I am your host, El Caballo. Here with me are my co-hosts, DJ Doughy Fresh, the Texas one without a gun, Mateo, and last but not least, the bald one, the gray one, Pucho. And if you are new to our channel, please show some love by hitting that share button, like, and subscribe. And if you're a returning member, please, I want to thank you for continuously one-upping yourself. Every single time you hit the page and watch the video. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Do we need to put in a sound effect for Doughy's little intro there when he did his air guitar or whatever was going on up there?
Yeah, I don't know. He slightly threw me off because I was staring at him.
Yep. The magic of video. Woo.
Fucking dope. Yeah, I don't know. Your little hand signals always throw me off there, Trump Jr. Just all this extra shit you be doing.
I liked it. It was some Bill and Ted, like, you know, air guitar energy there. I dig it.
It's a small-ass guitar if he's guitarring like this.
It's a ukulele. You got
Ukulele,
an electric ukulele.
Those things are cool, actually. They sound cool.
You got one there, but
calling it a ukulele is cultural appropriation, though. It's a ukulele.
Yo, shout out to Hawaii, man. They're going through it, bro.
Yeah, but we're not on the pod if you're actually trying to shout them out on the pod.
We're not on the pod? What are you talking about?
We are in the pod.
I don't know. We were literally just talking about cutting shit out and didn't really like.
See, that's why I told you we needed a restart. This is crazy. That's just crazy right there. Restart.
How meta. We're both on the pod and not on the pod at the same time. We don't even know if we're on the pod right now.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
We got editing. I was gonna edit it out.
Now we're going. We're riding through it.
We're back in the pod.
We're back in the pod. That's what Bill said.
Damn, man, that shit's crazy.
So did you guys see Kid Rock drinking Bud Light?
Was he drinking Bud Light? I thought he was never drinking Bud Light again. Didn't he shoot it with a gun or something?
He shot and killed Bud Light with his rifle, and Bud Light never came back until there was a picture of Kid Rock with Bud Light in his hands. So he's back. He's back. He's drinking it. I just put it in the chat. There he is. They spotted him. They were hounding him and waiting for this day. They were like, "You have the nerve to shoot Bud Light with a gun? Bud Light's gonna get his revenge on you." Now the Bud Light stock is gonna go through the roof. Everybody's like, "Oh, Kid Rock's not against it anymore." All right, back on board. They're gonna come right
king of all whites.
Did you think that Bud Light had a staff just to wait for him to slip up like this?
They had a paparazzi they had hired to just follow him around.
Wait for him to slip up.
Yeah.
I say why not?
That photo looks like it's being zoomed in super far to get like that image of him, because you could barely make out anything in the photo.
It's a picture from California while Kid Rock is chilling in Alabama, but they got like a telescope and shit. Yeah, this shit looks super pixelated. It's terrible. It's
I wish
a
I
horrible
could see it.
picture.
You can see it, Tony. I believe in you.
Yeah, you can. If you think about it hard enough, you could probably.
Don't you have 72 monitors?
Yeah, but fucking
the minority report of monitors.
That's ridiculous.
He's got them horizontal. He's got them vertical. He's got diagonal monitors. He's got monitors all over the place.
You would think I'm some sort of coder or something the way if I got monitors hooked up. Don't be a hater, bro, just because you got two Beasley screens. Hey.
I'm even worse. I have one.
Mm-hmm. You got an ultra wide though, right?
Wow.
Nah, I don't even have. It's a big.
Really?
It's a big monitor, but it ain't an ultra wide.
Huh. I figured you had an ultra wide. I keep thinking about going to the ultra wide route.
I heard that's like the worst thing to do.
My problem with monitors, right? I want to get another monitor, but I'm like, I got more bread now, so I could buy a better monitor, and then I'm like, but what am I going to do with my old monitor? I don't want one fly monitor and then one old monitor, so now I got to get two monitors. I'm like, do I want to buy two monitors? And this thought process has literally crippled me into not buying anything since the pandemic started, mind you. Because I've been working from home. Yeah, I've been working from home since the pandemic started. And I'm like, yo, I need to get a second monitor because at work, you know, I have 3 monitors at my job, right? Come home working on one, and I'm like, I need to get another monitor. And this thought process has and I got 2 extra monitors in the house. I refuse to use them because they're not the same.
That's just you gotta have the same. Yeah. Wait, so you
don't have to, but you gotta have them close enough. Maybe the same branding. You can have one monitor that's like for gaming. It's got like the 240 hertz refresh rate, the V-Sync, all the like crazy the accoutrement, as some would say. And then you can have another monitor that's like of the same like family, but a lower end. That's fine. You don't need 2 fly monitors, but
you have the
want
money
2
like
similar monitors, you know.
You got the money like right now to buy a new one if you had to?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So if I were to come over and that shit, now you're forced to buy it. Now your problem is solved.
Yeah, I'll probably buy a Glock.
Stand on it.
Are we back to shooting people in the foot again? I thought that was a before pod conversation.
I'm trying to help him out. He's stuck. He can't make a decision. This guy is muted like always.
Would y'all rather be... Hello?
Yes.
All right. Would y'all rather be shot with
Hello,
a real
he's
Glock?
back on the landline. Hello.
Or y'all
You
want to
remember
get
them
shot?
calls where you couldn't tell if you guys were talking to each other? Why doesn't that happen as much with cell phones?
I don't know. It was like that. Cell phone
Maybe
service,
it's like
I guess,
a
have
quality
gotten
thing
better,
or
yeah.
something. It's just weird. My
Not
bad.
enough
What were you
cells.
gonna ask, though?
You get shot with a regular Glock or the Glock Dookie? Which one?
The Glock Dookie is more shameful. Bro,
No.
you want to get shot with a gun?
Yo, I'm not trying to
You
get
wanna have
shit
surgery?
piss.
I watched 3 Kings, and like it made getting shot look awful. Like they showed the slow motion of like the bullet going into your gut and like what it does. I guess pour that Dookie Glock or Glock Dookie or
Glock
whatever
Dookie.
on me.
Also, you didn't specify where. Like, if I got Glock
In the
Dookie in the
face.
foot,
In the
I'd
face.
be like, whatever.
yeah.
I don't want nothing.
You would rather get shot in the face with a gun.
Not in the face, no.
I don't think there's a good place to get shot. I
No.
can't think of any part of my
Shoot me in
body I want to get.
my hand or something.
Actually,
Bro, I pulled
your
the
ass
hangnail off of my fucking middle finger, and I've been in intense pain for the last day and a half. It's horrible. So I wouldn't even want to get like my pinky shot or something, you know?
Yeah, those things go in deep.
What were you about to say, Tony? You were about to say
I'll say
actually.
I would actually get shot in my ass. Cause if you're a big guy, you have enough ass back there. It's okay. You'll stitch it up. You'll be fine.
Are you talking like side of the cheek or like
yeah,
okay.
sideways. Like this is the cheek sideways. I don't want to go in shot like that. No, side cheeks.
Oh, okay, great. Then I'll get shot. I want it to skim only
Yes.
the sidemost molecule of my body to the point where I don't even feel the bullet. That's what I actually want to happen. No,
what
you're
I
gonna
want.
get shot in the ass like Forrest Gump. You're gonna say I got shot in the buttocks. That's the only way you're gonna get shot.
got ice
Directly
cream.
in the ass. You're gonna be sleeping face down for months, eating ice cream. In a Vietnam triage.
I'm already a stomach sleeper, so like
Nah, you sleep in your stomach still? That's crazy.
yeah, I'm a stomach sleeper.
It's like the worst way to
That's
sleep.
crazy.
That's the worst way to sleep.
I have a flat pillow. Perfect, dude.
Nah,
You know what the new thing on Twitter was like last week? Shaming people who don't shower before they sleep.
that's a fact. I agree with that.
It was like, are you a morning shower or at night shower? And then and then you could tell who doesn't shower at all because they were trying to troll and say, I take 6 showers a day. I'm like, you don't take a shower. I'm
My
like,
brother
"There-
do. My brother's a maniac though.
Oh, bro, yeah, he be taking.
My brother
showers.
Brian takes like 17 showers a day. My mom
Wow.
be tight. Like, you're wasting all the water. Like, she been tight for years. Nah, I've historically, I usually take like 1 shower a day. Like, depending on the circumstance. Sometimes I'll jump in real quick to like rinse the day off of me. Because I don't like to get in my bed after being out and about all day. But who the fuck wants to leave their house? I don't know about y'all, but when I wake up from sleeping, I don't feel clean. Like, sometimes I do, But sometimes you wake up, you be a little hot. You know what I mean? You be feeling like a little like,
sweat.
Maybe I sweated a little in my neck last night. You know, you got to wash that ass.
I run my AC at 66 degrees at night, so I wake up feeling very refreshed because there's no sweat happening when it's that cold in the apartment.
The fuck is wrong with you, mother?
It's Texas, dude. It doesn't. It's still 90 degrees at midnight here, man.
I guess that makes sense then. I don't know. That's crazy to me.
In Florida, my AC bill right now is like $300. My electric bill is crazy.
I don't know how.
I couldn't even imagine if I was running at 60 something.
Go to Pooch's house, the AC's running at 75. You be asking for codes. This shit's money.
Asking for colds.
I'll be
First
asking
off,
for like
don't
a cold
even
win.
acknowledge that stupidity. He's just making up a lie.
What, Tony? What?
Go ahead.
Good. I know. I shower at night before I go to bed. I ain't going to bed dirty. I don't like that shit. That's just disgusting. You got to literally clean the whole day off of you. And also, I work a little bit outside, so that kind of takes an effect. But yeah, if you ain't showering before you go to sleep or an hour before you go to sleep, or even 2, you're bugging out.
Nah,
100%.
I shower after I work out, and then I go to sleep several hours later. Like, I'd work out at like 5, 6 o'clock.
As long as you don't step back outside.
Oh yeah, absolutely not. It's too hot outside. I don't go outside anymore.
It's just nasty, bro. Like, you get in your bed. Your bed is like, it's clean place. It's your safe place, right? You sleeping in there.
You know what compounds with this and makes it even more gross. They've done some studies, and the average guy changes his sheets 4 times a year.
Oh shit.
That's like every 4 months, really.
That's crazy.
4 times a year, dude. It's insane.
But he must be single. That's not in a relationship because your
I
girl or your
definitely
wife.
change them once a month. I'll change the What is the right amount of time to have sheets on the bed? I would say 30. I would say 2 weeks.
I do a week, 2 weeks. Like that's about my like rotation typically.
Like, how often do you change your towel out, though?
Huh?
How often do you change your towel out? Like,
my towels I use some pretty big towels, so I rock them out for like 4 or 5 days, and then I'll swap.
I'm like 4 days, and I'm like, a shower after that is disgusting. Like, it's literally the limit for me.
4 days is about the limit, like because like I said, I shower after I work out, right? So like there's that's how it gets gross, man. The working out shower is a different shower.
Yeah, for sure.
Here's a question: what water temperature do you shower at?
Cold as I can get it.
Hot.
Hot.
I'm hot. Yeah.
As
I'm a
cold
cold
as it can
shower.
go. As cold as it can go.
I'm not that manly to just start it as cold as it could go. I used to do that when I was a kid. But now I'll put the shower warm so I could get in, and I crank it lower and lower and lower until I'm literally at the coldest.
What's the point of you
Nothing
showering
feels better
cold?
than to come out that shower like that. You feel fresh. There's
Absolutely.
nothing.
Yep.
Yo, you just feel like a king coming out of that shower. Hot showers are disgusting.
So-
I think you guys are gross. That shit, you come out and it's a fucking steam. You're sweating. You're like, everything is wet like a fucking gremlin. You're walking. It's just terrible.
Let me do this real quick here.
The fan doesn't help. I'm not gonna hear about no
Not even the fan.
It doesn't do it.
Hot showers to get all the grime and sweat off you, right? Then you cool it down. I don't know how cold you go. I can't go too cold, but I go enough to where it's cold, and you walk out of the shower fresh. That's how you're supposed to do it, I would say. In my opinion, that's how you should shower.
You're supposed to crank it down to a level. You know when it's so cold that you go
Shivering?
and you take that deep breath. That needs to happen to you twice. When you're
Diablo.
then you got cold enough. Okay. The second time you go, that feeling is so good. When you're after that, you're like, oh, you're in this blanket of just freshness. Yo, you come out like a god. Nothing. Yo, that cold shower got you coming out like the barber gels your hair. It don't happen to me no more. But
Are you really
back
clean,
then when I
though?
had hair, that gel the barber puts in your hair be leaving you pristine looking, fresh shape up. You're powdered up. That alcohol smells so nice. Then you got the gel. That's it. You're supposed to hit the club right out of the barbershop. Like you can't. You got a air of. You're just you're glowing. That's literally what's happening. The cold shower does that to you. You could unlock that daily at your house. I just want y'all to know that.
But are you really clean though?
Yeah.
Cold as you could go in New York is different though. I'll be honest. That shit is a different thing.
I don't think you can really be clean with cold water. Like, do you wash your hands in cold water too? You got dirt and stuff all over. You're gonna wash your hands with cold water?
Not usually, no.
So why treat your whole body like that?
I'm not usually covered in like oil and grime though. Like I don't have like a job where I'm using my hands and getting them covered in shit. So like my body is normally, it's just sweat. Like it's just sweat from working out that I'm trying to get off of me. So like the soap's good enough, man. I wash my legs. I wash my body. I feel clean.
That power glove too. That shit is an exfoliation.
I just got a power glove based on you, Pooch. That power glove is life changing.
Wow. You could get in your ear. All of y'all walking around with greasy ears. No, the loofah don't do it. You got a greasy ear.
Nah, I use my fingers to clean my ear. I'll take soap and I'll put it in there.
That's
and
not cleaning your ear, bro.
Yeah,
that is cleaning my ear. Absolutely.
That's why you be catching them ear infections randomly.
That's why you be.
I
You don't
never
be seeing
even had
those
an ear infection.
That claim is crazy.
I never even did this. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, power
I want to
gloves
bring
is
it
key.
out. Hold on.
No, here we go. Power
He's gonna
gloves
get the
is key.
loofah. I've used the loofah for years.
It's just the
and when I
worst.
graduated the power glove, my life changed.
Facts.
These loofahs, they're 100% natural, al natural, and then this thing comes. Oh, this thing will blow up into a giant thing when you put water on it. They smell funny though.
I see a big old pube on it too.
Yeah, it's got some pubes.
That shit ain't no loofah. That shit is a sponge.
Yeah, it's a sponge.
You have a special little bag for it and everything?
Yeah, it's yes, dude. It's really good. It's for like exfoliating your skin and stuff like that. I get a lot of ingrown hairs, so it helps.
I thought you were all about the Manscaped stuff. How are we going to get that Manscaped sponsorship?
We need the Manscaped sponsorship. Okay, that's for one. My mom is willing to shave my back on pod. If we can get that, if we can land that Manscaped, that sweet Manscaped.
Tweet at them. Be like, yo, at Manscaped, my mom will shave my back on pod.
Yeah.
Sponsor it.
Oh, we need this tweet sent out right now.
I'm sending it right now. Yep, I'm going to send it out right now.
Pooch, I got a question for you. How do you feel about people that clap on airplanes? You think our flight up to PAX, we're going to see some people, like we're going to land in Seattle and they're going to be clapping for the plane or whatever?
No. In my experience, it's a minority thing. Specifically, a lot of Hispanic people.
My mom always clapped on planes.
When you land in the Dominican Republic, there's an applause raining down on that pilot for. I think everybody's just horrified of flying. Like maybe it's a superstitious thing. I don't know, but the applause is not a thing. I don't think we're flying to Seattle, which is what is super white over there. I don't think we're landing in Seattle and there's going to be an applause. I don't anticipate it.
I would be surprised. My mom used to clap on planes. She also clapped at the end of movies in movie theaters.
Oh my God, those people are even worse. The movie clappers. It's like, I think I watched the Titanic and they did that, and I was just like, what is this? It's so corny.
I don't understand the purpose of either one.
What do they think the movie's gonna give them an encore? It's gonna roll back. It's just start rolling back.
They're waiting for the credits to pop up. It's gonna say thank you.
Yeah.
We're just losing hosts left and right.
Yeah. We're just.
It's my daughter's. It's crazy out here.
Yeah, I could only imagine.
My wife got a freaking dog in the back barking the whole time. Mateo's like, I have a question for you, Pooch. I'm like waiting in between barks to answer the question. It's crazy. No, I just ran. I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to go get this dog myself. This is out of control. I went to the door and I'm like, yo, get the dog. Oh, I'm going to get him right now. Still.
Which I heard from a buddy that went to PAX South a few years back. He said it's very stinky.
Oof. Oh, I expect it to be very. We're going to be amongst the stinkiest people. the board game people, the Dungeons and Dragons people, the people who haven't left their grandmama's basement in 37 years, and they're living off of Cheetos and Mountain Dew.
We're going to see some people wearing one outfit for the entire weekend.
That's crazy.
One outfit. The mud butt is going to be out of control.
Yo, that it should be. I wish I was there to gauge the power levels of the mud butt.
Bueno.
Do we need to just walk around with like Axe? Or Axe makes it worse, actually.
Yeah,
what would you
Axe.
spray that is going to make it better? Febreze? Uses Febreze, everyone?
Oof. It would have to be like some.
I'll hit them with Lysol. They got to get disinfected. There needs to be a disinfectation, if that's even a word, okay? Like, we need to kill 99.99% of the germs on those people's body. That's what we need to do.
Hey, did you guys hear about this Dominican baseball player? Wandel Franco, I think is how you... I'm slaughtering
was his name?
Wandel Franco.
Oh, there you go.
I think I said it right. I try to say it
They
with
call him Wander Franco.
Yeah.
Wander Franco.
I didn't want to say it the English way, but he's got some crazy allegations. No one knows him. He's a shortstop for the Tampa Rays. And he's got allegations based off him dating a 14-year-old girl from Dominican Republic. It's on his Instagram. He has pictures with her. And they're saying that he'll probably never be able to play in the MLB ever again, based off whatever happens after these court hearings and stuff. So my question to you is like, that just seems crazy, right? But is that really something you could hold them accountable in the US of A? It's a different country.
I think so, because when I saw this topic on there, and I heard about this like a week ago, which is wild. Like it intersected with a few other YouTube videos that I watched, or they were mentioning in the comments. But I mean, even in the Dominican Republic, dude, the age of consent is 18.
Oh yeah, he's
okay.
He's getting investigated by Dominican authorities.
And
Wow.
So there's an investigation happening over there.
And it's an
I
effect
think the
over here.
question still stands though. Should committing some act, like some crime, doing something bad somewhere else affect your employment elsewhere?
I
Or
don't
not
think it
even
should.
somewhere else. Like if I punch someone's face at some place, should I get fired? Like
I think it depends, right? Like it's complicated. I know that when I worked at way back when, because allegedly, a lot of this is all allegedly. Allegedly, if you got a DWI or something, you could be fired on the spot because one of the higher ups was very involved with the Mothers Against Drunk Driving charity. So that was kind of one of the frowned upon things, which is wild because everyone at that place drank way too much. but like it makes sense. I think it kind of makes sense. I mean, even as a person, if I had a buddy that like they went down to one of those countries and did like a sexcation or something to have sex with like minors, I would judge them as a piece of shit. Like I don't think that it would change anything if they'd be like, oh no, it's legal in this country I was in. I'm like, yeah, you're still a fucking creep. Like,
I mean, yeah, personally, you can judge them, but lose your job over it, it's very different. I would say the most dramatic things like killing somebody or maybe some type of embezzlement. I don't know. Maybe that can probably hinder your job, but
There was a white dude. I'm not sure if it was Thailand or Philippines. I'm not sure, but he just got arrested by authorities. It was a few months ago for having sex with underage girls in Thailand. And that dude they were dragging him through the fucking street, bro. That shit was crazy.
you should definitely follow that country's or whatever visiting country you're at rules and regulations for sure.
Yeah, but just asking, oh, where's the youngest women? Like that's just weird.
yeah,
Like,
it is weird.
And I think you should lose your job for that because like that's a sex crime, man. I don't know. I wouldn't want someone working at my office if they were like a sex criminal like that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that person as a coworker.
Even the legal age is weird. Even if I was like, I want 18-year-olds. I just need an 18. I was that would sound weird to me. Like I would be like, you're fucking weird.
It's crazy too because I don't know if you guys seen pictures of this girl allegedly, you know, Franco's girlfriend or whatever. Bro, she has like a 2-year-old kid. She definitely doesn't look her age, and mind you, nowadays, like you can't really tell ages of kids nowadays. You got like 12-year-olds looking like 16-year-olds. It's crazy. Like kids are playing sports and stuff.
I don't
like
know
that.
about all that. I don't spend a lot of time.
Like in sports, there's a lot of.
kids.
Let me rephrase that. In sports, there's 12-year-old kids, boys playing football, but playing with like 16-year-olds because of their body size and structure. They're just bigger. Kids are just bigger. You know what I mean?
A kid
I
is
saw
always,
a video that there was like that 10-year-old boy.
Yeah, he has a
that he was
mustache.
trucking people left and right. He looked like the Incredible Hulk on a field with regular people, but he was 10. Allegedly.
Is it the kid that had the mustache by age 6? He said he's like,
Yeah,
I grew this
I
mustache
don't know if that's
when I was
true.
6 years
But it
old.
reminded
He
me of
said,
the bench warmers when they ship in that Dominican player. He whips out the piece of paper. He goes, "I am 12."
Yeah.
But he's got children. He's drinking beers. He's like grown as fuck. To bring it back a little bit though, like even because following the country's rules, that's one thing, right? We're specifically, right, just to wrap up this case, right? This guy allegedly committed a crime in another country, right? It's not whether he followed the rules or right. He allegedly committed a crime in another country. And should he be fired for it, right? Mateo says yes. I personally think when you're a public figure, I think the rules are vastly different. So like I feel like he's one of the better players. He was named an all-star, all that stuff. He's one of the players that's like front facing the MLB. I think the MLB gets to say we don't want a sex criminal to facing our organization. I think that's fine.
For sure.
Even if he's not committed, even if they drop the allegations and it doesn't go nowhere, you think he should still be kicked?
No, I think if he is a sex criminal, right, sure. That's another thing, right? It does make me uncomfortable that if there are allegations about someone that society goes and they're like, all right, we're cutting them off, we're doing this, we're doing that, and they're excising that person from society, and then they turn out to be innocent, and then it's like what now? Like they got the terrible reputation. You already hit their money. All these situations, it's kind of messed up. Like,
Yeah,
there should be corrections for that too.
because he signed for like 11-year contract in November for like $100 million or something like that. Like, are you really gonna? And then he has an option.
Yeah.
That he's worth $223 million. Like, you really gonna drop him if he's not proven guilty for that? I don't think you should. Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit. His reputation's tainted now, but I don't know. I think there's.
I don't know. My mom always used to tell me, "Don't hang out with bad people, or else everybody's gonna think you're bad." So I personally wouldn't be in the business of taking pictures and hanging out with 14-year-old girls that have 2-year-old children that are clearly sexual active, and I personally would not be in that situation. And I don't want to say that it's his fault for being there, but it was a stupid move on his part.
Absolutely.
If he didn't do it, he's an idiot for being around these types of people.
Yep. At the bare minimum, dude's an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I wonder how it came out, too. Like, I wonder who's the one that just searched into this. Because this obviously had to have happened before.
I think it was Dominican. This obviously had to have happened
saying, like,
before.
they have to have a relationship before he became signed. Like, I don't think this is, like, what?
I mean, he got signed like 3 years ago. You're saying he was with her when she was.
I mean,
was 11?
I'm saying no. I'm saying like this doesn't happen. Like they probably had a relationship now for maybe a year or so. Like why? Like what triggered it now? Like who snitched? Someone like her.
What is that? What is that based on?
Yeah. What if he just went there to hang out in this country and he just had sex with her? No.
Yeah, I haven't looked into that.
So that makes it worse. That means he just went there just to pop and just came back on some vacation shit. That sounds crazy. I mean,
it's just all bad. Like all of it just sounds bad.
Yeah, it's all bad. It's all bad. It's worse if he's been in a relationship with a 14-year-old girl for years. That's way worse. Mm-hmm. But regardless,
he's an idiot for that.
It does make me uncomfortable though when like I was listening to a podcast the other day, and reading articles and stuff about this. Where it might be in Atlanta, this like newspaper company And maybe not a newspaper. What the newspaper? But people that publish news, whatever, right? A news organization. And people have been writing into them saying, yo, like, get my name off these articles. I can't get a job. Like, and they are having like this crisis where they're like, well, we were reporting the facts. Those were the facts. But also, like, this person got a DUI like 8 years ago. Should a job, an employer, find this article and refuse to give them employment every single time because of that? Like, you know, when does a person have the right to be forgotten by society, you know?
That's interesting because you can get your records expunged potentially depending on what you have. But if the news organizations have put it out there, you're still searchable. And I mean, Googling people, searching people is absolutely a part of the hiring process now. Like, it's not from personal experience, but that's what it has felt like. That's my anecdotal experience that I've heard from other people in hiring spots. That like that is part of it. It's a social media search, it's a Google search to see if there's any red flags in your history.
Yeah, I know.
That shit feels super messed up to me. Like. They're mulling over like, oh, what should we do? It's handled on a case-by-case basis. They don't have any systems in place or anything like that. Like, one lady was like, oh, but this guy killed someone, and the other guy's like, yeah, it was in self-defense. Like, he defended his life. Should there be an article saying this guy killed people and it messes up his prospects of getting a job? Like, I don't know. It just makes me very uncomfortable.
All jobs go through your social media. That's why they say when you apply for a job that like you really want or some type of promotion, they say to deactivate your social media for that time until you get hired.
You think it's gonna flip in a few years where we're gonna try to conceal our children as much as possible from social media because all of the negative ramifications from
100%.
that we're like not gonna allow them to make profiles and stuff like that. I feel like it's coming.
Things are going to get way dumber in this country if we don't, I think. I hate social media.
Look what happened to Trayvon Martin, right? They fished up those pictures from his social media of him like with grills and, you know, doing the Florida pose and shit like that. And look at this gangster, like, you know, to like paint him poorly. And it's like, yeah, he's also a fucking kid. So it's like, kids do dumb shit. So like, it's hard to say like, oh, this person posted these pictures when they were a child. It's like, yeah, that must mean that he's a bad person. It's like, how far does that follow you now? Like when when you're 20 something trying to get a job and they got pictures of you with grills doing these, throwing bows and shit, like, is it going to be harder for you to get a job? Like, are you going to have this perception of like a hoodlum or something? Like,
yeah. Like you said, there should be some type of like list or some type of structure that they should follow based on that. Like if it's something 10 years ago, can you really judge a man off of 10 years of
depends
his
on
past?
the crime, right?
Well, yeah, I guess, yeah. Yeah, there's some levels of
like, let's say you're a nurse in the UK killing 10 babies or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I feel like that should follow you for a while.
It was 7 she killed, and then she like attempted to kill more than 11 or 12 or something like that. Yeah, fuck that lady.
Yeah, that was crazy.
What's
her name, Doughy?
Lucy Lacey Luthbeth.
Something Letby,
yeah.
Lucy.
Yeah, she was overfeeding children. She was injecting air into their stomach, into their lungs, injecting babies with insulin, and she killed and harmed some number, like a dozen or so babies. Like,
bro, that shit is wild.
The shit went on for like 4 fucking years, bro. Mad people caught on to her and was like, this bitch is around for too many of these deaths. Bro, in 1 year they had like over 10, 20 deaths. And at the year after she left, only 1 fucking baby died in the neonatal unit. That next year after she was gone and she's not fucking killing babies anymore, the rate of death dropped. She was I don't know what could drive anyone to want to be that cruel.
It's happened before. There was another nurse that had a really similar thing. Beverly Allett. She was another English English one. Says she murdered 4 infants, attempted to murder 3 others, and caused grievous bodily harm to a further 6.
Wow.
Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah, there was an American guy. I don't know his name, but they made that movie, The Good Nurse. They also had like another movie based on it, and he was killing old people left and right. He figured out this like glitch in the system. Basically, you got to like log onto a computer and say what you're gonna take out and blah blah blah, and then the computer lets you get that medicine. So there's always a log of who took out what medicine and what amounts and all of that kind of stuff. But he saw there was like if he went to get medicine but then canceled it, the door would still unlock. So then he was using this trick to get insulin and then inject old people insulin. He was killing mad people like that. Yeah.
Holy
That
shit.
went on for years, and the hospital didn't want it's similar to what you were saying earlier, though. The hospital didn't want to fess up to it. They were being very difficult in taking any responsibility, even though it was their system enabled him to do this stuff.
The
He was
craziest
able to
thing,
bounce from hospital to hospital to hospital to hospital because no one wanted to take responsibility over what was happening. People are just like, we don't want this guy working here anymore because a lot of people are dying when he happens to be working. You know what I mean?
That guy
That's
killed
wild.
dozens of people too, right? Like that one was crazy prolific, right?
Yeah, I don't remember how many, but it felt like a lot.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
The crazy thing to me is that the director of the hospital forced everyone that was accusing her of killing the bit of like being in like he forced them to apologize to her, like say sorry. You've ruined this lady's life.
That's wild.
don't-
There is
yeah.
no person in my life that is going to force me to apologize to another human being.
Wait, so she didn't even go to jail? There's no trial, nothing.
Yeah, she just got sentenced.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear you say
Yeah.
that or not. That's what I'm asking.
So the guy that I was talking about, his name is Charles Cullen. He's killed 29 people confirmed for a fact that he did it.
Shit.
And they suspect that there are several hundred people that he killed.
What the
In the hundreds.
It's wild.
And he has like a half a dozen or so
Holy
failed attempts.
Shit.
So this dude is out of control.
And they're old,
That's
so you
like-
don't really suspect you don't suspect these things to be like malpractice or
I don't understand. That is like you're spending every waking moment of your life like just thinking about like killing someone. Like your entire life is just planning out your next like thing. I'm not focused enough for that. I get distracted way too easily.
sick in the head, bro. That's mental illnesses right there. That's crazy to me. It's almost as bad as like someone's on trial for murder and people are finding ways to be like, no, he's not guilty. This is just some type of weak cop out they be doing for them. It's just like, nah, bro. Hundreds of people you killing, 30-something babies, whatever the amount, like death sentence all day. I can't fuck with it. I'm sorry, I'm just a
little
father. That
unhinged
shit-
rant real quick.
yeah, I'm as a parent, like that shit hurts. You know what I mean? Like happiest day of your life becomes the saddest day because some vieja wants to murder your child.
No, she was young.
Oh, she was young.
She was young, bro.
And
She's
they-
like
Why
in
is
her
that
20s.
surprising? What difference does that make?
I
Old
would
people
just-
are more likely to murder people.
I'm back on my
Yeah.
ages.
Because
Say.
that old lady shot Selena, and Tony never
Yo,
recovered
fuck
from that.
Yolanda, bro. We don't like this fucking podcast does not support Yolanda, bro. Get this,
she's about to get out.
put
She's
that
still
bitch
alive,
back
bro?
in, all right? Put her back in.
She's
all
still
right?
alive, dude. She's about to get out. She just made parole, I think.
This bitter woman is still alive. Wow. You think she's forgiven?
No,
Oh.
absolutely not. That never. The fucking the
way.
Mexicans down here in Texas are never gonna forgive that woman.
No way, bro. I was.
She better move up to Minnesota or somewhere where they don't know Selena's music.
I was
She
just
robbed the
listening to
world
her
of the
album.
queen of Tejano music. Like,
Yeah.
There's no forgiving that. They're not gonna forgive her. You crazy?
Yeah, I do want to ask you guys, freaking, if you're taking like a plane ride, you're going on a flight somewhere, and there's a family that wants to sit together, would you move for them, or would you say, nah, this is the seat I paid for?
It depends on my situation. Am I flying solo? Are they offering me a window seat? I love window seats. You offer me a window seat, I'll move all day.
I hate window seats. Me personally, I wouldn't move.
I don't think it's a rude question to ask.
Why wouldn't you move?
because I like aisle seats. So if someone tells me, yo, you got to get off your aisle seat, if I'm not getting an aisle seat, I'm not moving. That's the only option.
So you would move if the circumstances were fine.
Yeah, but there's never aisle seats. It's so hard to get. I don't know what it is about aisle seats, but it's the hardest seat to get.
I'll trade you aisle seats all day. I hate the aisle seats.
Bro, no one sits in the middle because you're cramped.
I'm an aisle man. Me and Tony are aisle people.
And I got bamboozled twice sitting next to Pucho. I got stuck in the middle seat. She was the worst.
Yep. The middle seat is the worst seat. If anyone's offering me a trade for a middle seat, like, I'm not taking it. I'm not sitting in that middle seat.
Yeah, that's a fact. I'm saying hell nah. My rules are this. Look, I'm a big man, all right? So I cannot sit in between two people. Like, I'm straight. I'll take a window seat if it's next to a small person. Because, again, I'm not going to be all crunched up on the window. I'm straight. And I'll move if it's an aisle seat. Because I like the aisle seat because I tend to just... I'm one of those assholes. I'd be putting a whole leg in the aisle and I'd be comfortable in that. You know, I'm always conscious throughout the whole flight of moving when people are passing by. Unless I'm gonna take a nap. If I'm gonna take a nap, then I'll put my legs in and be a little bit less comfortable just to not wake up so much. But yeah, nah, I'm straight. Like, yeah, I'll be the asshole all day if some family is like, "Oh, could we swap seats to go to that middle seat over there?"
Hell.
I'm like, nah. And I feel bad, right? Because maybe they bought the tickets when they could afford them, and they couldn't all sit together. And it's tough, as a parent, Tony. You were just talking. You were all sappy about your kid. Imagine you have to sit separate from your kid on a flight. Like, that would be a situation that you're like, fuck it, I can't even fly on this plane, type of shit, right?
I'll just make
but
sure.
some people have to fly, so then they're in circumstances. You know what I mean? So I get it. I feel for them, but I'm not moving to no middle seat. You're fucked. You better go ask somebody else to move. You better go ask the flight attendants to shuffle shit around for you.
I'll straight tell her, yo, fuck them kids. I ain't moving from this middle seat. I don't give a damn. And like me, if I'm flying with my son, I'll make sure my seat's with him. If it's not, we're not getting on that plane. It's very simple. Think I'm gonna sit separate from my child? Now, there's an age limit too. If he's like 10 years old or whatever, be like, yo, you good with that? All right, go move because your dad.
There's ages, but there's also situations. There's some places that aren't as popular as others. They might have one flight a day. If you need to get to a place at a day, you have to get there at that day. You have to take the L. Like, you're going to be that asshole asking people to swap around,
That's crazy.
Or there was a guy one time I was on a plane and he wanted me to move to like a middle seat, like all the way. And I was like, he's like, can I sit with my girlfriend? I'll trade my seat with you. I was like, no. And he's like, what do you mean? I said, no. Like, he's like, but why not? And he's like, because I don't want to sit in the middle seat. And he's like, oh. And then she looks at her. He's like, yeah, this guy's not letting me sit. I'm like, not letting you, nigga. You hear what I mean? Like,
your ticket's not letting you sit there.
Oh, so you were sitting next to his girlfriend?
Yeah.
The whole plane ride.
Yeah.
Oh, she didn't. She wanted to stab you for sure.
Fuck out of there.
That's
dude.
crazy. Nah, what do you mean? These people are you're not in wrong. I'm saying she's in wrong, but the hostility is next to you. You can't be comfortable now,
man. See, this is the thing. People don't think about this. If you had sweetened that deal a little bit, Doughy might have been willing to take it. Offer him some drinks. Be like, look, you get the middle seat, but I'll buy you 3 drinks on the plane or something. Like, that's a deal right there. That might be a deal.
Yeah.
Like, yo, bro, I got this $50 in my pocket. It's yours.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, that too. Money talks. I'm like, I need some spending money where I'm going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's how it is. Money buys people, bro. Believe it or not, money buys people. Money buys anything. Yeah. There's nothing that money can't buy.
Money does a lot of things. Yeah.
Pucho don't like it?
Tony is in and out of the glitch right now, right?
He is in the glitch.
In the glitch?
For sure. Yeah, I guess everybody's using the internet at your house. So.
Yeah, you've had a couple instances of you're like...
You freeze?
You're freezing.
And then you come in mid-sentence and you're moving around.
That's crazy. But
how do y'all feel about Elon Musk talking about getting rid of Block? blocking.
It's so dumb. I've had his ass blocked for months, and I think that's all it's tied into. Not me specifically blocking him, but just the amount of people that have him blocked.
Yeah,
I think that's all it's about. It's so dumb, dude.
Yeah, he's destroyed Twitter.
God, he's so X.
You saw they updated the logo. First, they updated the logo to X, right, which is already weird. But then, like a couple days ago, they updated the logo again, so it looks like all glitchy or destroyed. It looks like shit. Yeah. I hate looking at my phone.
It looks like cracked or something like that.
Yeah, what
can we talk about how dumb some of this is? Like, instead of retweet now, it says repost, right?
Yeah, it's that X. Yeah. X, go give it to you. That's all I think about.
There it is.
Oh, yeah, it looks dumb. That looks real dumb.
And it's like a line going through it.
Yeah, I hate that.
It's like, what? Why? For what?
But
it looks terrible.
Can we talk about how they renamed the retweet to repost, but it still says show X number of tweets at the top of the, like this rebranding is just so half-assed. It's so weird.
He's just doing it day by day, however he feels at this point.
I feel like if we rebranded the name of our podcast every week or something.
Yeah. Or like change how we do topics every week. It'd be crazy.
That'd be insane. Putting out
yeah, the rebrand has been handled very, very goofy. Yeah, when you click it, it'll say repost, but then it'll say, oh, how many times this got retweeted. Like they're using the different phrases, the same phrases. They're using both phrases in different places, and it's messed up. And then they have like, I don't know if they ever addressed whether they're gonna still call it tweets or not, or posts, or some assholes on Twitter started calling it zeets.
That's dumb. Oh my God, I hate that.
Zeets. I am not part of the Zeet gang, as you can probably tell. Some assholes on Twitter.
I hate that.
Not gonna lie, half the shit.
And I'm still calling it Twitter. I can't call it X. It's just
X is fucking dumb.
Yeah, I don't care about half the changes they did. I mean, it did catch me by surprise with the X thing, because I was looking for the bird, but the reposting, the retweet to reposting, that shit doesn't bother me. I don't give a damn about it. Like, at some point in time, Twitter's just gonna, or X is just gonna die out. It's just over with. That's why your boy's on Blue Sky. Come and find me. One Up Pod is on the Blue Sky, people.
I just got my invite. I need to set mine up today. But also the same thing, like Twitter's getting rid of the block, and I heard that the guy behind Blue Sky, what is his name, Jack or whatever, he also agreed that he thinks that being able to block people is not a good functionality on a social media site, which is crazy. I don't understand the reasoning behind it.
I don't have anybody blocked.
I think I have mixed feelings. Like, what is the block trying to function? Like, it's
stopping harassment.
Well, sure, but like harassment should be something that's like against the terms of your service. They should be banned if someone's harassing people. So it feels like the block is like a band-aid to behaviors we don't like. But then I feel like a lot of people use the block to say, I disagree with this person. I don't want to see their shit. And I'm like, I don't like that.
I don't have a problem with that. I do agree with the terms of service is like a lot of the root cause of this, because like I came across this tweet like 2 months ago, right? And it was like this dude just like talking about killing one specific like race of people, one group of people, and I reported it for hateful content. I just got a notice this morning that tweet was finally flagged for hateful content. And it's like, this dude is literally saying that these people are scum and they should be wiped off the earth. And it took you 4 months, 2 months, however long to investigate this tweet and get that removed.
Yeah, I don't know what the.
So like there's a failure in the terms of service like investigations as well.
Do you think it's like how the video gaming works? Like when people are called for hacks, or like report. Thank you. They report them so many times. You need an ample amount of reportage before someone actually looks into it. Do you think it's one of those things?
Probably. I would assume it's weighted in some way, to be honest.
Because you could just be just some dude that just hates his post or whatever. You just want to shit all over him.
I'm sure there's a lot of that. I had that Ted Cruz tweet that got my account locked immediately because I told him to take a hammer and pound sand up his ass.
Wow.
So that one got flagged immediately.
Nice.
Like, sure, it's like a little bit violent in nature, but you're not calling for someone to. I guess you're calling for him to be violent with him, but that's like intrinsically different than calling for violence. Like, his life is not in any more danger by you making that comment. Like,
Instead, it was hateful rhetoric.
That's
don't
crazy.
take a hammer and pound sand up your ass. That's crazy. That's insane. That's a brand new sentence. I don't think that sentence has ever been written. Like,
That just might be him being super sensitive. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, it got flagged immediately. It wasn't even. It didn't even. That tweet didn't even make it to him. Like,
oh wow.
I hit tweet and immediately it popped up and said my account was locked.
that's crazy.
I think he has bots defending him. Talking about being super sensitive, man. Do you think raising our future children or your child now to become super sensitive and be fragile is a behavior that good to teach them in this real world nowadays? Like just being super sensitive? Am I glitched out again?
Well, Doughy's fucking muted as usual.
Doughy's muted for sure.
I
The
don't even
sentence.
know how to respond to your
Like,
question.
are we raising our children to be super sensitive and fragile?
That is such a better sentence than whatever the hell you said to begin with. I think you even finished the sentence with that good thing.
Am I bugging out?
Oh
I'm
my
bugging out.
God.
No, you're good. You're here.
No,
Are we raising our children to be super sensitive? I think as a society, I have seen more of it in the last couple of years than historically, and I do think it's troubling.
You think it's a lack of?
I think all the trigger warning stuff and stuff like that. I feel like it's like you're going too far. Like there maybe there are some things that are trigger warnings, right, for people that have experienced like real traumas. But like somebody hearing, I don't know, Donald Trump's name shouldn't be a fucking trigger warning. Like,
I agree.
Someone talking about a movie or a song shouldn't be a trigger warning. Like, I don't know. Like it seems like we're saying, oh, these are all these things that are completely off limits because I'm incapable of hearing these words or have a conversation about this. Like, I don't know. It just feels strange to me.
Yeah, I read a thing one time when they were talking. It was a psychologist, and he was talking about trigger warnings and how like they've moved away from their initial purpose. Like the initial purpose was for people to figure out their triggers and take steps in their own life to remove those triggers from their life if they were triggering their traumas. It was not supposed to be people pushing that onto other people and saying these are my triggers. Now you have to.
Respect
just
it.
you at large have to respect them. Obviously, your friends, your family, your close people in your life, they should know your triggers and they should respect them. But you can't expect random ass people on the internet to do that. I mean, shit. Think of all the trigger warnings we'd have to put in some of our videos. We talk about people have trigger warnings for spiders, dude. We talk about spiders in a video. We're gonna put a trigger warning spiders in it. It's a lot. It feels like. I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily agree with the full premise, but there's a lot of aspects that I think are flawed.
I know what we need to do. We need to wish up and take a Ouija board out and say,
Yes.
Jerry Springer,
Triggered.
we need that segment where we make fun of these type of people. You remember when these people were like, I'm scared of balloons, and then they run up on them with a whole bunch of balloons and then run away. And the fastest runner on earth would follow them all the way the back, and they
that
always
guy
on
is
them.
shot.
Skilled. That guy has skills. They're getting like fucking Usain Bolt to hold that camera. Like that motherfucker can
Isn't
move.
it crazy
Like,
that we used to like use this shit for entertainment when people were like super triggered by something?
I still find it entertaining. Yeah, I love that video where they pull out the balloons and that lady's like, ah! She just starts running for her life. Like that shit is depressing in a sense because that isn't a trigger. That person has some crazy mental irrational fear thing. That's like a mental disability, I would call it.
For sure.
Which is different than what I'm talking about, but yeah. I think that's a little bit more understandable. Like the balloon thing. But.
I mean, fear, man, that's
Funny
hard.
as fuck.
Fear and triggers two different things.
Tony's just
What I want to see, is data though. I want to see data. Like I may have my personal feelings about whether kids are more sensitive today or not, but I don't know how you would measure that, like in data. But I'd like to
I have
see
no
that.
idea.
There's a
I'd like
video
to see that borne out.
attached to the this topic, and it explains that back in the day, our grandparents and our parents were let outside at an early age, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. They were outside experiencing the world, and they're saying that because as time went on, we became so protective of our kids. Some people didn't let their children leave the house until they're like going to college or like 16, 17. That's when they started allowing them to go out. And a lot of these kids don't know they need their moms and dads still. They're not like independent. They're not as grown as our grandparents and our parents were at that age.
Because the time has changed, though. Like, back then in the days, I used to be out to 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock. Like, nowadays, you can't. There's just more... It's different.
It's safer than it's ever been.
It's safer than ever before.
Now? No way.
Yeah, we're safer than we've ever
100%.
been.
100%. Honestly, you're more likely to get shot by a cop than like shot by some rando on the street, honestly, being out at 11 o'clock at night as a young teen minority.
I need to see the statistics.
I don't know if that's statistically accurate.
Yeah,
That's just how it feels.
I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, I don't know what Mateo's talking about there, but America is safer. I'm not gonna say than ever before because it fluctuates year to year, but historically, we are at some of the all-time safest times in our society. Yeah, there's like crazy sex trafficking. We hear all these stories about kids getting kidnapped and all types of horrible, horrible, horrible things. I think a lot of that's a consequence of having a lot more information accessible.
For sure.
And it freaks people out and all this stuff. What I did want to say, though, because what Doughy said didn't really address what I was saying. It's true that back in the day, people were able to be more independent at a younger age, so do more when they were younger. But what's the impact of that? Like, that's the part where we need data. Are children worse off today, or were they worse off before? You know what I mean? Like, and how do you correlate that to the level of independence they had?
He was using that to determine that our grandparents and our parents are less triggered. We don't have they don't have trigger warnings. They don't need to, you know what I mean? Yeah,
they do. Talk politics or religion in front of an old person and the whole party's over. And like young people are capable of doing that. I think there are I tend to agree. The younger crowd is more offended than the older crowd. That's like my general feeling. I don't have any data to back that up, is what I'm saying. And I'd like to see like how we're like, if the way we're coddling our youth is really harming them. I think it's bad. Like, for example, my mom used to send me to the barbershop alone when I was 5 years old. I used to walk around the corner and go to the barbershop. My brother used to go to the grocery store when he was 5 years old and buy groceries and bring it back to the house. Like, stuff that's like unheard of. Meanwhile, like, that one lady let her 9-year-old ride a train and was labeled the worst mom in America. And it's like, when I was 9, I was riding the train by myself. I used to go to Brooklyn all the time to my aunt's house and shit. And it's like, I don't know. It's like the times are different for sure. What's acceptable and what isn't anymore. But
I lived out in the middle of nowhere, so like there wasn't even anywhere in biking range to go to. So like I spent most of my childhood just at my house or with my parents. Granted, we had a lot of property, so I was out on our acres like doing dumb stuff.
Pucho, when you were in Japan, you saw that this societal thing where they send kids out at like a really young age too. What happened?
Yeah, so Japan does this thing where mainly because those people don't do anything but work. So they have to just let their kids just be in society. And they have like this honor system where everybody's like, you're going to watch my kids, I'm going to watch your kids when they're out and about. And yeah, I saw like a 5-year-old kid, maybe 4. He looked like pre-K kid on a train by himself, like with his little umbrella. He had like something he was like trying to read to figure out where he was going to go. And he was freaked out by me. He must have never seen a brown guy before. He kept looking at me like, you know, and he was like scared a little bit. He was looking around like, is nobody else scared? Like, it was funny. I personally thought it was hilarious. I felt bad. I'm like, kid's first day on the train, he sees a big ass man on the train. He's like, what is this? They let monsters on the train. Nah. And I personally think that's cool. I think it's a good thing to teach young people independence at an early age. Like for my kid, I let her do as much things as she can. As stupid as it sounds, but I'm like, dress yourself, wipe your ass, put your own shoes on, and it takes forever. But I feel like these little things are going to instill a lack of need on her part, of her like needing her parents around, which is just going to benefit me personally because I'm a little lazy, but I'm hoping that it's also beneficial for her in life, you know?
But you ain't start that until what age? When did you start her just freely just doing it on her own?
Pretty young. Like I would encourage her to do things, but like, yeah, obviously she
can't wipe her ass at 2 years old.
Right. But like once she started training on the toilet, I'm like, look, take a toilet paper. This is how you clean yourself. I let her fumble and try to clean herself. And then obviously I'm not going to just let her walk around with a stinky ass. I clean her ass. But like sometimes she cleans it and then I clean after. And I'm like, oh, it's clean. You did a good job. Lately I've been letting her brush her teeth on her own. Where like before it'd be like, she would brush her teeth and then I would go and hit some spots. Now I'm like watching her brush her teeth and I'm like, it's good enough. Like, cool. I'm not going to do nothing. Now I like watch her do it to make sure that it's good. But I'm not going back in there to clean unless she's having like a rough morning or something. But
nice.
Again, lazy. Hopefully it's good for her. But
benefits both of you guys. It's a win-win. Everybody likes a win-win. I know I do. I like to win no matter what.
Didn't Michael Scott invent the win-win-win? Win? Is there 4 wins in Michael Scott's scenario? I don't remember.
Michael Scott's missed that show. Classic.
Yeah, it's not the same watching it on Peacock. I tried.
Ew.
I tried. You want that Netflix?
I don't know why. It's not the same.
It is different.
Yeah,
they have Peacock because Peacock's owned by NBC. One of the selling points was like they added like deleted scenes that didn't make the original cut. I think there might be a couple episodes that were never released that are on Peacock as well. So like you get, and they have the super episodes that have like a third of the content or something like that, or all things that never aired before. So there's like perks to watching it on Peacock, but maybe it makes it worse for you.
It's not the same.
It's different. It is.
No, it's not the same.
Damn.
I remember just restarting it over and over and over and over. Like I watched the show maybe, dude, I had to watch it like 4 or 5 times back to front, back to front, back to front. Like like a year or two of just The Office.
Jeez.
I think times are different. I think back when streaming first came out, I used to stream the same things a lot. Nowadays, there's so much original content that it's to sit there and watch something old is to waste your time at this point.
What if we on the podcast? What if we all start doing? We do the old school. We take it really old school. And we do the Dragon Ball Z experience from our childhood, where we watch like 5 episodes and then we go back to the beginning, and then we watch 6 episodes. We go back to the beginning. We watch 7 episodes.
God,
that got me crazy as a kid. Nothing was more hype than that day you were watching Toonami and you finally watched the last episode of The Loop and you're like, tomorrow is gonna be the first episode of Dragon Ball Z, and when you tune back in tomorrow because you're a fucking fiend, you're gonna just watch it anyways. It's a brand new episode. You're like, you're going crazy. It's like, I don't know. I wasn't tuned into when these things were gonna happen. like when the new episode. I only found out episode to episode, but that was hype. Yeah, that would be terrible. I'd be depressed if I had to watch TV shows like that.
I remember being super sad when I had to watch the first episode again. I'm like, oh man, like we're gonna do it again.
It's a classic.
Mateo, you said before the pod that you had a question to ask me about.
It was it was the PAX question. It was the stinky PAX question.
Oh, the stinky PAX. Okay. I'm like,
PAX.
damn, did he ever ask? Okay, sweet.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you stuck with us to this entirety of episode of my welcome back because I was missing. Yes,
Tony, I don't know what's going on with your sentences today.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm so clogged. It's not even crazy.
Unwelcome.
You're not
Make
clogged. You're like
it
having
an
a stroke.
unwelcome. All right.
Nah.
Tony's drunk, bro. It's barely noon right now, Tony.
The allegations here are ridiculous right now. But ladies and gentlemen, if you have watched it or stayed tuned or watched this whole entire episode, I appreciate you. And like always, go one up yourself. Peace.
That was the longest peace pause of all time.
Peace.
We all say bye after you say bye. The fact that you took so long, it's just like 38
Bro,
seconds.
this
of silence.
medicine's kicking in. We just
See
need
you
to-
later, folks. All right.
I'm used to Pooch getting the last piece, but it feels like Tony's been jumping in to steal that last piece from him lately.
Me?
Peace.
I never try to steal someone's peace.
Peace.